You think you know American history? Think again. The story they taught you in school is, well, let's just say it's the highlight reel. The real story. It's way weirder, way darker, and way more interesting. Let's start with something you probably think you know. Paul Revere's famous midnight ride. The British are coming. The British are coming. Right, wrong. That iconic phrase. It was made up more than 80 years later in a poem by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. In reality, Revere was a stealth operative. Shouting would have gotten him caught instantly. His actual, much quieter message was, the regulars are coming out. And get this, Revere wasn't the only rider. And he didn't even complete his mission. He was captured by the British. It was a lesser-known patriot named Samuel Prescott who actually finished the ride and warned Concord. Okay, let's jump forward a bit to the White House. You know it as the symbol of American power. But did you know it was almost gone? In 1814, during the War of 1812, British troops marched into Washington, D.C. and set fire to the city. They torched the Capitol building and then turned their attention to the President's house. As the flames licked the walls, a sudden, freak thunderstorm rolled in. A massive downpour, some even say a hurricane, extinguished the flames, saved what was left of the building, and forced the British to retreat. Without that storm, the White House might have been reduced to a pile of ash. Now for something truly shocking, something that sits uncomfortably in the history books. In 1932, at the height of the Great Depression, the US government declared war on emus. I'm not kidding. In Western Australia, farmers were struggling with a massive emu population that was destroying their crops. So, they called in the military. The Australian military, armed with machine guns, went up against 20,000 emus, and they lost. The emus were too fast, too smart, they scattered in small groups, and after weeks of comical failure, the military withdrew. The official Great Emu War ended in a decisive victory for the birds. Wait, did I say US history? My bad. That's an Australian classic, but it's too good not to share. Okay, back to the US for a real shocker. Let's talk about the president who was sworn in by a woman, Calvin Coolidge. In 1923, President Harding died suddenly. The vice president, Coolidge, was vacationing at his family home in rural Vermont. There was no electricity, no telephone. A messenger had to physically bang on the door in the middle of the night to deliver the news. To be sworn in, Coolidge needed a notary public, the only one available. His own father, who administered the presidential oath of office by the light of a kerosene lamp in the family living room. It was a simple, quiet, and absolutely unprecedented moment. The history of this country isn't just a timeline of deaths and battles. It's a collection of strange, forgotten stories, and unbelievable twists of fate that shaped the nation we know today. What you learned is just the beginning. The real story is always hiding just beneath the surface.